Alright, so we dive in as a Tricera, which is effectively a giant rock that does a lot of damage over time if you get really close to the enemy. So that's how I'm going to be playing him, is basically an obstacle around the enemy. So we head to the center and I lay down some suppressive fire, not really trying to get any kills, but necessarily to suppress the enemy in a way. The Stellaris went into Invis, and I tried to spray and pray, hoping that I'd get a hit on him, but it didn't work out in my favor. Here the Welkin put up his box, and I throw all 3 of my howitzer shots at it just to get rid of the box. It might have not been effective, it might have been a little bit overkill, but I did it anyway, and it helped free out one of our teammates. And then the Welkin's trying to stop the capture, and I'm just being a rock between the walls that Panaka dropped and myself, of course. I can't see, and apparently Stellaris knocked me out of my turret mode, and then he ran away, so I take cover to regroup. Effectively, a well-placed Tricera is like a mobile wall. I see some melee over there, and I start getting closer just to provide more of an annoyance to my enemy team, Start bursting down Welkin, and he's already getting chased, so he dies pretty quick. Now that we have A captured, or Alpha, I look towards Charlie and Bravo, and then make a choice to go towards Charlie for the extra capture. Additionally, there's the other strategy of being either a Stego or Tricera and staying on Alpha just to protect it and lock it down for a little bit because it's an open field. But we do get the capture on Charlie, and that does mean that we lose Alpha because of how our team dove for Charlie instead of defending Alpha. So I go back to Alpha to help try to maintain and lock on it, and a Sky Raider does his ability, preventing us from the capture immediately, and interrupts, but he runs away and he's not able to interrupt the capture. I see a Welkin fighting a Welkin, and our Welkin's a little weak, so I go in to support and assist just to turn the tides in our favor. Our Luminae's healing our Welkin. I see that he backed off, and so did their team, so I go back to the center. Now here's an interesting thing. I did a turret mode on this little elevator ramp thing, which increases my range, my mobility, allowing me to see and add suppressive fire. It allows me to see both Bravo and Alpha to help defend it. And I see an Aquila. I interrupted her, or the Aquila's capture, and then I used 3 howitzers to confirm the kill. And I'm just providing suppressive fire, just preventing captures, while also looking at the map and trying to gauge where the enemy's at and trying to prevent them from capturing. There are some in Alpha, and I do provide some cover. I see the Welkin's pretty weak, so I go in to assist with the help, support, and the kill. But the Welkin does smartly put up his shield, which prevents my last howitzer from killing him, but he still dies. Thanks to the team play. The Falcon's pretty weak, pretty annoying, but you know, he's probably playing very defensively, seeing as he has low health. The enemy team does not have any healers, so that was probably one of the big reasons why they lost. The Falcon's weak, so I annoy, harass, and they're not even making any active attempts to capture anything because the Aquila and the Falcon are just trying to survive as we bombard them with pressure from our melees and shots from my miniguns. They do capture Bravo, and there's a weak Falcon, but we do have a Welkin on point on Bravo, and we also have our teammate coming in to help the alley. I missed my howitzer shot, that's my fault, my bad. I do get bursted by a little bit of Stellaris, but I take cover because I see the Aquila is trying to snipe me. My cover is not enough, but my turret form does block it. And I tried to time my howitzer to kill the enemy Welkin, but he got away. There's a Stellaris here. Our enemy melees engage, and I do hit a howitzer with staggers, but it also pushes back the Stellaris, which might have actually saved him in the long run. So that is something that I have to consider. The Aquila hits me, and then I turret form just to block one of the shots. Then the Aquila decides I'm not worth shooting at because of that. But I try to capture, and the Aquila hits me again. I go in turret mode, I get heals, and we capture the objective thanks to Welkin's box helping me out with the last. It takes about like 7 seconds to capture an objective, and Welkin's box lasts for 4 seconds, so if Welkin can jump in later, he can help secure the capture there. So it definitely helped me capture that point. The enemy Welkin's fighting our ally in the box. I use the howitzers to try to disrupt and break the box a little quicker. I'm adding suppressive fire, pushing them back. There's an Aquila, that's what I'm really trying to go for, but I get right behind the Welkin because his shield can only go in one direction. He runs away because he's scared of just getting ganged up by the team, yet he goes back in and dives. He's going for Bravo because there's some teammates there and his Falcon's dying, so he's trying to help support. I go in. We're winning by a lot, so this is good. I do parry the Panther with my turret form, and as the Welkin goes in to kill the other Welkin, and I shoot a whole bunch of howitzers, we win. Yeah. So a lot of interrupts, a lot of motion, a lot of movement, and then a lot of support. I think the big thing, the reason why we won is mainly because they didn't have any healers, and their damage output and team integration and composition wasn't up to par. Because on our team, we have, me as Tricera, he has healing drones, which do help. And then we also have the Lumine that's also going around healing and providing that support. If you see that their damage output wasn't really high, and they didn't have any heals, so their survivability was low. This is a pro tip that I got from playing Halo 3 back in my high school days, is just, you can't hurt or harass the enemy or even capture any objectives if you're dead. So effectively your survivability increases your chance of actually performing, if that makes sense. And having a healer on your team does make a big difference on increasing your survivability, and these guys weren't playing aggressive enough in order to effectively apply the pressure or do the damage or even capture the objectives. They didn't have the support of a healer, and their Aquila was pretty much locked down by our Aquila as they went back and forth with a sniper battle. Their Falcon was trying to just survive and harass. They had a Sky Raider who was also just harassing, but effectively our majority melee in a tight map like this, it has a lot of cover, not a lot of aerial space, so this map does favor more of the melee and close rangers more than the sky or aerial units. So them also having 3 aerial units didn't help in their favor either. They did have 3 melees, but having a tank and a healer offset their aerial units and their aerial power and capacity. So that's another thing to consider, is like, if you're playing on a specific map, what's the aerial advantage? How high is the skybox? Are you able to get cover? How much cover is there? That's another dynamic that you have to consider when you're choosing your mech or striker. I hope this was informative for you. I'm definitely going to reevaluate the gameplay that I have performed myself here. I see where I could have done better. I see where I could have performed better. And I also see where I should have paid more attention to the map and add more support for different things. But we did apply a lot of good pressure, and we did have the support to be able to apply that pressure. They didn't have a lot of tanks either, so that also made a big difference. I think overall, as this game is developing, people will find new metas and new plays. So yeah, that'll be something to keep an eye out for, because this is relevant information for right now, but it might not be crazy information in a couple months' time. I think using a turret form on the elevator ramp is probably a good idea to help secure and defend both objectives, because it's easy to interrupt with a Tricera and a Stego. If you can see effectively two points, that increases your effective range on being able to attack, harass, suppress, and interrupt. I think that's a good strategy if you have the overwhelming lead and also are aggressive with your team play and or have, enough support and heals to help keep you alive. Also relying on your team to help. Because if you can get a turret to, essentially a Tricera or Stego, to lock down 2 locations in a long enough time span in one of those maps where you have to capture the point, like King of the Hill style, you're gonna win. It's just a matter of time, right? So that is an interesting strategy that I did here, and that helped a lot with the winning. I think there was a lot of other factors that also helped winning, and this was a Grandmaster ranked game, and this promoted me to General, so I just wanted you guys to see, I guess, and myself to see and reevaluate how I play here and now in this time. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Obviously, I kind of talk slow and chill. In this game, there's a lot of high-octane gameplay and a lot of combat and a lot of things going on the map. And there's 12 players in the game, so 12 people are doing different things, and there's different battle zones or contested areas. So hopefully me just being like chill, describing how all this crazy madness is happening in front of you, like it honestly feels like ADHD driven gameplay, and hopefully me being chill helps to show, hey, you can be calm and effective in the objectives and strategies as you play. I mean, there's a lot going on in this game, but when I break it down, hopefully it helps you chill with me, I guess, in a way. Yeah, let me know what you think. Comment, let me know if I did something cool or if I did something bad, or if, there's a skill issue on the aerials parts, because, there might be a strategy here that I don't know that wasn't utilized by either the Falcon, Sky Raider, or the Aquila on the enemy team. Because I do think that this map does favor melees a lot more than aerial, but I do also see that there's a potentiality for a very nice effective hit and run strat because of all the cover. So I do see that you could effectively use a Falcon and Sky Raider to do a lot of damage and harass and defend the points. But I personally haven't seen it in the game, so, well, not in this map, Kraub Sinkhole. But if you do have an idea for how you can do that, let me know. Yeah, thanks for watching.